Oh, okay, you can all hear me?
Yeah.
Hello everybody,
Hello.
I am Aidan. I hope you're all having a very jolly time. So I'm not sure what happened when writing this speech, but it kind of just started to rhyme. It was probably due to nerves, or just maybe Max secretly wanted this, and I just really know him. But for some strange reason, rather than a best man speech, I seem to have written a best man poem. I'm going to talk about these two beautiful beings and some moments from their story. But this is 15 minutes of very forced rhymes, and for that I am deeply sorry. But first, let me thank the bridesmaids and groomsmen for being amazing each and every second. And thank you to Luke, who is stuck in Canada, allowing me to be Max's sloppy seconds. I met Max at birth. I met Max at birth. He was 3 months old. He had Alec as a cousin and now gained another. But straight away it was clear cousin was not strong enough a word, as the three of us were truly brothers. All our lives, we've never once fought, though as kids, Max and Alec may have done. Though the parents will tell you how those fights undoubtedly ended, someone's going to cry and it's going to be Aidan. Growing up, we'd be found on the trampoline or practicing parkour in the sun. Max would always beat me at basketball, but I would beat him at Simpsons Hit and Run. We'd walk to school together, spend all day together, and together we would depart. And as I lived over the road from him, we still wouldn't be apart. For 25 years, you've been my brother, my best friend, my best pal, my best dude. So it is tough to decide which of our memories would be the best ones to include. Do I include when you shook hands with a monkey? Or when we built that awesome igloo? Or how when you were 13, due to your ridiculous hair, you were nicknamed Mophead Maximu? Or hitting that mosquito with a flip-flopping turkey? Or creating Bunny Want Biscuits in your sketchbook? Or giggling as the car as we sang Tenacious D and Zan gave us that disapproving look? Or when you cut me with that sacrificial knife? Or the ping pong show, which was vile? Or when there was heartbreak and I needed a friend, you were there with a keg and a smile. Or when we worked in the hostel and we had to change every bedsheet, and for our boss we caused quite the palaver. Check-in was delayed because we did the whole job whilst playing The Floor is Made of Lava. 3 hours. Or our gap year with Luke, where we went to find ourselves, to grow dreads and learn what the world's truly worth. And it was because of that pretentious attitude that you changed my Facebook name to Wave Child of the Earth. And yes, it was funny for a minute or two, and yes, we laughed a bunch. But for me, the joke ended when we discovered you can change it only once every 2 months. Your Facebook now. Many places we travelled and landmarks we saw, and Max had an interesting choice of souvenir. He didn't buy key rings or magnets or clothes. No, he was truly a pioneer. Pictures or postcards, they were too dull for Max. He needed a unique idea, and he had it. He would find a quiet corner, ask us to keep lookout, walk up to the landmark and teabag it. If you're unfamiliar with teabagging, I'm sorry, as your image of Max is about to crack. To clarify, Max would unzip his fly and christen the place with his ball sack. It's true. He's teabagged the Opera House. He's teabagged Budapest. He's teabagged teabagged the Berlin Wall, the Maheno Shipwreck and the Wellington Museum. He's teabagged the Milford Sound Waterfall. He's teabagged Sydney Zoo and the Harbour Bridge, where people could for sure see us. He's teabagged the Whitsundays and Surfers Paradise. He's teabagged Mount Vesuvius. In Europe, he's teabagged the highest point you can ski. And he's teabagged that volcano in Auckland. From Marina Bay in Singapore to the Great Ocean Road, Max's balls have travelled all lands. There's more. He's teabagged the Blue Mountains and Madame Tussauds. He's teabagged Melbourne's biggest arena. He's teabagged the water park from the In-Betweeners movie. He's teabagged the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The most northerly point of New Zealand, the most easterly point of Oz, and of course much closer to here, the Glastonbury sign, the I-360, Hove's Peace Statue and Brighton Pier. He's teabagged Malaysia's Petronas Towers. He's teabagged the sacred Uluru. It was harmless fun and fine, but I think he crossed the line when he teabagged Steve Irwin's memorial.
We were there.
Could have stopped.
Some may try to mature Max, refine him through care and cultural nourishment. But no, Hannah was there each and every time with nothing but encouragement. I've known Hannah since school, when we met the nerd crew. Now, that friendship group has come on well. Thinking back now, what would have happened if Dan Selleck hadn't fancied Isabel? Over distance and time, you've kept the group together, meaning there's always been a shoulder to cry on. The crying often came after a game of Articulate or an incestuous night at Black Lion. I asked if I could say that. We're Glastonbury regulars, but more than the music, I remember when Luke ate that one bad nut. Or Hannah fainting in line, or dressing Max as a pirate, or playing games with talentless Jack Garrett. I don't know what was more fun, sharing bikes in Amsterdam, one sitting on the bars and the other on pedals. Or our trip to Berlin, one pint and flight missed. And Kirsty offering everyone medals. We've been to Australia and crossed the Harbour Bridge, with Max walking in dead centre so he wouldn't fall off. We've roomed with a rat and gone surfing with Shrek. And we just won't mention Kavos. So many memories and adventures and good times and great laughs that this beach could go on for a lifespan. But my favourite time with Hannah and Max is when we travelled New Zealand in our camper van. Whitewater rafting and ice-cold kayaking, and anyone who's been will know of the amazing nature in the country with geothermal pools, mountains, fjordland, volcanoes. There were earthquakes in the morning that would shake you awake, rocking the van from bumper to trunk. Although, thinking back now, maybe that rocking I could feel was just because I was in top bunk. The whole country we travelled saw hitchhikers and hobbits. So many adventures and memories we keep. But the tale I'll tell you all right now is our encounter with Boris the sheep. It was a normal day driving through the fields of sheep, on the hills far above the green forest, when all of a sudden a horror met our eyes of a hawk attacking poor Boris. It was scratching and pecking at one of its eyes, and the old sheep was really taking a beating. The hawk fled as we approached, but Boris was on the floor, laying there, helpless and bleating. Boris couldn't see us as we rushed to his aid, as he had his good eye facing the ground. We wanted to help but didn't know what to do, and there was nobody else around. So I hopped in the van and went searching for help, hoping to find someone to back us, whilst Hannah and Max waited with Boris, on guard for any other attackers. At the next farm over, I found a nonchalant couple who said there was nothing we should do. It might have lost one eye, but the sheep will survive, and the hawk needs to eat something too. I quickly returned to deliver the news. There was nothing to do but retreat. But we decided the least we could do was get Boris back on his feet. Max and I crouched, ready to lift Boris up. Then with all of our might we tried. It got up on all fours, and then with the momentum, fell right back down the other side. We stood for a moment, staring at Boris, his eye filled mostly with confusion. Well, that didn't work, Max perceptively exclaimed. And it was hard to refute that conclusion. At least he could see now. Could this have not been avoided? Oh, Boris, if only you had ducked. We left in the van as nothing could be done. It was clear you were royally far from our help. Yet we left hopeful, satisfied we had helped. We'd improved his position, we reckoned. Until Hannah pointed out all we had really done was offer the hawk seconds. And without hesitation, Max slammed on the brakes. We stopped, but he said not a word. He let out a sigh, his hand on the gear stick, and calmly put the van in reverse. 2 minutes of peace, then we flipped him a second time. I'm sure Boris was grateful there was no third. In fact, if Boris had a choice in who returned, he probably would have preferred the third. Poor Boris. I've said most of the speech, but there is a personal memory that is important to me to share. Because in Australia, I was young and foolish, and of love, I wasn't very aware. I wasn't too sure, and I wasn't decided. To be honest, I thought love was some kind of joke, like a profitable ploy created by Hollywood, or something abstract, only for older folk. But of everything we saw and everything we did, and of all the new things we would try, none of it compared to when he spoke about Hannah and the look that he had in his eye. And after that, I was convinced, no longer unsure. It wasn't some silly myth that I was above. To put it simply, you changed my life, as you made me believe in love. There is so much to reminisce, the joy and the bliss. We're so proud of who you've both become. But please, let's raise a glass as I would like to toast all that's still to come. Still a bit to go. To when the speeches conclude, and we've finished all of the food. And to tonight, when the party is roaring. When you're dancing insane because you've drunk all the champagne. And to the hangovers you'll have in the morning. To all the shows Max will do. Max the Mormon round 2. And to all the babies that Hannah will catch. And if you so choose, any job that you do after that and after that and after that. To meeting people you don't know and letting new friendships grow, be they young or old or rich or poor. To every time that we'll meet, to chance encounters on the street, we toast to all this and more. We toast the indecision you'll face and the mistakes that you'll make, because life may get stranger or tougher. And so when the times feel low, or you're unsure where to go, because you'll know you have us and each other. To everyone that we'll miss, and to every time that you'll kiss, and to when we sing and dance without care, to every surprise you'll have in your lives, and to all of the laughter we'll share. So when you're wrinkled and grey, showing pictures of today, to little ones calling you Grandad and Nana, we toast now to the future, to our family and to our friends, and of course, to Max and Hannah. To Max and Hannah!